All right, so welcome everyone to our weekly live session. This is for the week November 15th to the 19th. And before we start going through our stocks for this week and going over the market, I just wanted to cover a couple stocks that we went over last week in last week's live session. So for the first one is MMM. I mentioned that it was holding that trend line and consolidating within our strong support in our breakout area. It did pop up near our first target intraday, but it couldn't close above our breakout level. So right now this is still in a good position for this continue to go on to our first target, potentially the second target. What I'm looking for here is a close above our breakout. So this play is definitely still something you should keep on your watch list for this coming week. And once it does close above on the daily, then this looks good for continuation up to our first target again, which is 186.5. If it closes above that, then up to 190. And then our next one is UNP. So I mentioned that UNP was in a bull flag pattern. And I mentioned to wait for it to close above or close above the breakout. Once it does break out above that, or once it did break out above that bull flag, it did start to pop up, did retest that level, and now it's trying to push towards that breakout area. So if you haven't played this one yet, what I would do is wait for close above the breakout, since it's kind of holding above top of the flag there, and then once it can confirm and have some follow through, then go ahead and buy calls or just shares, whatever you end up doing. And the target for that one is $252. And then our next and final one is MU. So with MU, I mentioned that it was in that bearish channel here, and wait for some confirmation of a breakout due to the resistance that it wasn't able to break out of previously. And now, or yesterday, that would be Friday, since today's Monday. So Friday, it broke above that bearish channel and hit that first target, and it's holding near that first target. So what I would do is I'd look for a close above that first target, which is 77.50, and then I would enter some swings, or if you do day trades, then at least day trade that first target as a support up to our second target, which is at $79.50. And then let's go ahead and go through the market and where it's at. So right now we are holding above our light support. So our light support is at $461. It did drop near it, and then it reversed on Friday, and now it's holding above. It's kind of consolidated today a bit, but it's holding above the previous trading day's high, or close. So that looks good. It looks solid for a potential breakout of 470.65 within the next couple days. If it does close above that breakout of 470.65, then this looks good for a run up to 482.75. If for some reason we do end up dropping and we break below our light support of 461, then this can go down to our strong support, which is at $453.75. Overall, I'm leaning more bullish than anything. I believe futures are up right now. Yeah, futures are up a little bit, so we'll see where they're at in the morning, but so far this looks more bullish than bearish for this week. And then to get into the stocks that I'm watching for this week, the first one is Etsy. So here on Etsy, it was in a bullish channel. It broke above, had a solid report when it came to earnings, and now it is pushing above our strong support, which is 264.75. As long as it holds above that level, I'm overall bullish on this. But right now, it tried to close above the light support. It pushed above intraday, but couldn't manage to close above for this daily candle that printed for today. So if it does close above that tomorrow, you can get in a little bit early. If you want to play it safe, then wait for it to close above the breakout, which is at 283.40. One thing that could potentially form if it can't fall through that light support is this pennant formation here. So if it can't follow through and it rejects and falls back down, then we can see some consolidation and then finally break out. So just keep that in mind. But that one is for Etsy, and if it does push above the breakout of 283 and 40 cents, then our target for this one is 296 and 75 cents. And then for our second ticker is Cost, which is Costco. So here for Costco, it's in a long bullish channel. It pushed up to all-time highs, I believe. Yeah, and then it pulled back and held above our bullish support. As long as it maintains above our bullish support of $504, then this looks good for an upside play. It did try to break out today of our breakout level of $520.21. It did end up pulling back, and it couldn't quite close above. So unfortunately, that shows that buyers are kind of dying down. It's not following through. Even here on the volume chart, there's an increase of volume on the buy side, and then it died down. So with this, I would wait for a close above breakout, and then once it does and it holds that support, then this looks good to $540. All right, so our next one here is Netflix. So Netflix is maintaining this bullish channel. It ended up pulling back, bouncing at the lower part of the channel, and then popped up on Friday. And it had an indecision candle where basically there's a small body. So that small little box is called the body. And then there's a long wick, which is that line there on the top and the bottom. It's called an indecision candle. So usually that is just showing that either buyers aren't more on the stronger side and sellers aren't more on the stronger side. It's more 50-50. So with that being said, we can see some consolidation over to the right as we hold above that light support of 675 before popping up. Unless if we can tomorrow pop up above that downtrending line here and go towards our breakout of 690.97, then that is a good indication of purchase, or wait till it closes above the breakout. So I'm looking for one of those two things. Then once it does, I'm looking for Netflix to run up to $711. And then if it closes above and holds 711 as support, then this looks good for a run up to 736 and 50 cents. And then our next stock here is Facebook. So with Facebook, it bounced, kind of dropped below of the bullish channel here for Facebook. But what it ended up creating, let me try to enlarge this for you guys. But it created a inverse head and shoulders. So this is the shoulder, that's the head. There's the other shoulder, and now it's starting to pop back up. So the neckline, which is the breakout indication, would be right here, which it tried to do today. There should be some follow through tomorrow. I do expect this to close above that trend line there. But overall, as long as it holds above our breakout of 346 and 79 cents, then this looks good for a run up to our first target of 356 and 50 cents. Yeah, and then our second target of 368 and 96 cents. So that is a solid one that I would definitely keep on our watch list for this week. And then our next stock here is Pins, which is Pinterest. This was also in a long-term bearish channel. Similar to Facebook, it kind of dropped below the bottom portion of that channel, but it's starting to recover and push back into that channel. So since the overall trend is bearish, I don't want to go too long on this. So this is more of a shorter play. So basically here today, we closed above our breakout of 47 and 91 cents. As long as this holds above 47.91 on the daily and not intraday, so as long as it doesn't close below on the daily chart, then this looks solid for a push up to $51. We'll meet our 50 SMA. Then our second target is at $54. And honestly, if it pushed above $54 and holds that support, then it could potentially go to 57.50, 57 and some change, since there is a gap right here. Majority of gaps always get filled, so keep that in mind. And then our last stock for this week is Qcon. So right now, Qualcomm is kind of consolidating right near that previous all-time high, which was over here around 168. Right now, it is looking good for a push above our breakout, which is at $169.52. So we can have some follow through, which so far everything's looking good when it comes to price action. The volume started to die down a little bit during that pullback, and now buying volume is starting to pick up. So this looks definitely solid. It looks like it will have some follow through. But once it holds 169.52 as support, then our price target for this is 175, and then if it continues on from 175, then our final target is $180. But that's going to wrap it up for this week. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. We do this every week. We cover the market, cover different stocks that you want to have on your watch list. And we do that right around 6:15, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time every week, every Monday. So feel free to tune in for more.